Spiky Cross.
Cross.
Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm a singer.
Hi, my name is Peyton, and I am a dancer.
And today, what are we doing today?
Today, we are back with more requested reactions, and we will be reacting to a group for the first time, but it's gonna seem like the second time.
Let us explain. So today, we are reacting to BDC, which stands for Boys da Couple. They are a 3-member group from Brand New Music, and they were all on Produce X 101. So when we're filming this video, this is our first time seeing them or watching anything from them ever, and we don't really know anything about them besides what we've just seen on their profile just now. But this video is going to come out the day after, for us, their comeback has happened.
Basically, we had these requests, we put them on our schedule, and then their comeback was announced for the day before it was on our schedule.
So that's all we really have to say, but the order that we're watching the videos in is first, Remember Me, 기억되고 싶어, and then second, Shoot the Moon. So
Let's go. Is it angsty?
It sounds sad ballady.
For a debut. Oh.
아직도 생생해져 느낀 그 설레임 너와의 첫 눈 맞춤 보잘것없는 내 바람들이
Oh, there's just one snap. Oh.
믿을 수가 없는 나날인데 네가
there we go.
영원히 잊을 수 없을 것 같은데 너도 나처럼 나를 기억해 줄까 너에게 많은 그저 수많은 기억들 중에 하나 말고 밝게 빛나는 지금의 나를 마음속에 담아주고 싶어 힘든 시간일지라도 함께한 순간만은 언제나 네 마음속에
I know. What is this music video?
기억되고 싶어
Okay. Sorry, I don't get the horrors.
It's okay.
Oh, that dance was really pretty.
Oh. Yeah, just the piano and the snapping. Careful!
What's the footage playing on the TV?
Oh, I wasn't focused on it.
너무 행복했던 우리 현실이 아닌 곳에 머물렀던 것만 같아 부서지고 무너지던 날 일으켜 세워 손잡아주던 그때 내 모든 걸 바꿨잖아 너에게 많은 그저 수많은 기억들 중에 하나 말고 밝게 빛나는 지금의 나를 마음속에 담아주고 싶어 힘든 시간일지라도 함께한 순간만은 언제나 네 마음속에 기억되고 싶어
All we've been doing is just like,
Oh, the facings. Oh, they changed the facings.
Oh, they added strings. Oh, okay. This makes sense. I was wondering why he like switched into head voice for the previous note instead of doing like a belt.
So it's cute.
Oh, it ends on a harmony. That's pretty.
Yeah. The song itself is not really hype, but the verses especially are pretty minimal. Thinking about like what sort of choreography could you do there, I was like, without completely changing styles and doing things like super contemporary, it would be a little bit odd. Like I wasn't sure what they would do. What they did is kind of interesting because there's not a ton of choreography in the verses. Like there is some, but a lot of it is just very artful weaving and like walking like they do in the music video. So they really utilize their dancers a lot in making the formations. So they have places to like arms to walk under, they have people to interact with, and then during their individual parts, they will have some choreography, but it's kind of minimal. The jump. So I was like, the jump is so pretty. Honestly, pretty was not the right word. I think eye-catching is just more of it because it feels very light and kind of like floaty. And the emphasis is obviously up, they're jumping, but they're going from second position and then collecting in and bringing their legs together at the end of the jump. That movement just in and of itself kind of creates an arc with your body because of how you're bringing your body together. But then they use a trick that makes it seem like it hangs in the air a little bit longer because they pull together and then as they're coming down, they raise one leg so that they don't land at the same time, and it gives the illusion that they're jumping for longer, and it kind of lingers in your mind. In the reaction, I was like, basings, and I kind of freaked out. With 3 people, it can be a little bit more difficult to make it as interesting because you don't have the bodies to make a lot of formations. And yes, they are using dancers, but the dancers are almost, at least in the chorus, are always around them because the focus is on the members of BDC. And so really you're thinking about like, how do we form the members more than how do we form everyone else. One thing that they did is they changed up their facings a lot because the dance is actually pretty repetitive. They use the same base choreography for all 3 choruses. None of them are completely different. There are slight changes, but it's the same choreography. But the way that they keep it interesting is they change how they are placed on stage and where they are facing on stage. So for instance, in the second chorus, they are in a circle facing outwards, and then one of the moves actually turns them in, so they're facing in. And while they're doing that, the dancers are doing the choreography moving around them, or like they do the choreography weaving through each other the 3rd time. So your brain is seeing the same choreography, but it actually takes it a second to realize, oh, this is the same choreography. And like, it makes sense that it would be a little bit more repetitive because again, the song is kind of minimal. So you're not going to have some like crazy dance break for the last chorus, but those little changes are what keep you engaged in the dance. And then my last comment is just they're really cute. I watched their live stage. Like, they have really sweet smiles. So that's it. Anna's turn.
Yeah, so it's a very sentimental song. Everything about it tells you that. The song is also pretty repetitive, but they do like little things to switch it up. And especially since the song is kind of like in more of this box, they want to do as much as they can within like that box. So the piano in the beginning is like very minimal, and it's essentially just chords each time the chord changes, and like occasionally there'll be like a little line of passing tones in between them to make it more interesting. And the snaps that when it started I thought was gonna happen more frequently, but it was just like once every like 1 or 2 measures instead. So yeah, it's like very down here. And then the pre-chorus build-up is the piano chords are now being played on every single beat, like reiterated, even if the chord isn't changing. When I got to listen more closely, there's a little chime that plays in the background once on 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. So it was a really nice little thing. And also they add more percussion. When I first heard it, I was like, oh, this is really like intense for such a sentimental song, because it kind of made me think of like marching band, the big bass drum in like a marching band. And then on the end of the pre-chorus, they add harmonies, which is like a nice build up right before you enter the chorus. One thing I really liked in the chorus was all the vocal harmonizations in the second half when they're singing the oohs. It's really pretty when it's layered. And also like when you just have a harmony on an ooh, the like textures of your voices work really well with like the whole meaning of the song. Entering the second verse, it like pulls back. It's a fade out of this, just their voices, like the instruments cut out and their voices are fading out. And then there's like this rewind sound effect, and I'm like, what does this mean for the story? But then the difference between the second verse versus the first verse is that in the second verse, the piano line is moving more, and then also the snaps are happening more frequently. One thing I thought was interesting though is that when it enters the bridge, there's not like a huge change, because a lot of times in songs they'll be like, oh, a complete genre change for the bridge. But no, for this one, it just felt like a continuation of the chorus, because the instrumentation really is like exactly the same. It's just like one chord is changing, I think. I didn't have time to like check it. And then at the end of the bridge, they add some strings. And that's it. But then the last thing I had to say was, and I kind of said in the video, the ending harmony was really nice, because it's like line, harmony above, and then I believe octave below. And that's all I have to say. Next!
So for the second video we're watching today, we'll be watching BDC in their song Shoot the Moon. That's all we know.
Yeah.
Let's go!
I see many moons. Multiple. Not just one.
Which one are we shooting? Oh my gosh, the beginning. Oh my gosh!
Okay, the snaps are more frequent.
Oh my god.
Oh. Oh, the line in the background is cool.
I like this scene. I like this shot. With the square of light.
I had a feeling you would. I really like this song so far. Like a lot.
Oh.
Oh. That's so interesting. They did that whole like snare build up in the chorus. Or
Oh my god, Anna, I
it
love
felt
it.
like the chorus.
I love it.
Okay, what is with people in masks though?
I don't know. It was in Remember Me Too.
Yeah.
This part. Oh my god.
I also just like how it like pulls back.
Oh.
Their outfits are blue now.
Ooh. Is it gonna like come back together?
Is that like an eclipse?
Popping.
The whistling.
It's gonna go around.
Oh, ending in the starting pose?
Mm. I loved this. And I don't know if you couldn't tell from the reaction, maybe you didn't hear me scream it like a dozen times, but I loved this. Even take away the music video, take away the dance, like just the song I really liked. And then you add in the music video, which the shots were really cool. Like I loved the square light and the all black, especially because it's like a night sky with like the moon illuminating it. And then the dance. First, again related to the fact that they only have 3 members, they once again used a lot of formation changes to kind of keep it interesting in the choruses and in the bridge, pre-chorus, the parts where they're dancing together. But also in the verses, a lot of the choreography they're doing by themselves with dancers. The members will enter and exit the stage like during their parts. And it's really cool because one, a lot of times the formations are kind of not circular, but like kind of circular. And they're like moving across stage while they're doing it. So it's like the moon moving across the sky. And then also just that like constant energy flowing across the stage keeps you very intrigued into what you're doing in the dance. And then I was also thinking about it and I was like, oh, that also makes a lot of sense for those light box shots in the music video when they're doing choreography there, because they each have individual choreographies for their parts that are distinct to them. So shooting solo shots like that is easier. And then moon symbolism, I've talked about it a little bit already. Obviously there's lots of it. The circles, yes, are one of the big things. It's in their hands, like they do this thing across. It's in their arms and like the paths that they take, they're just very circular, like a lot of open around movements. The dance itself is also a circle because obviously it starts in the moon formation and then it ends in the moon formation. But also I was kind of interpreting it as like a full moon cycle from one full moon to the next full moon, because in the middle of the dance they have the hand thing where they actually build the waxing half moon. And they do it on the correct, like when you're looking at it, it's on the correct side of like how the moon builds, which is really cool. So yeah, really awesome. And then the chorus, like I'm not talking about the song quality because I'm not qualified to do that, but the quality of dancing is super groovy. Like the way they're dancing, because they're kind of like laid back into it and like feeling the beat and like rolling through their bodies. And it's really cool. It's not even in like they're not trying to be sexual about it. It's just the way they're doing it. And like the feet too, when they're like hitting their heel, like kind of like plucking the bass, it's just a really cool quality and I just really liked it and oh my god. Okay, and then the last thing, I don't usually say stuff like this for rookies because this will come with experience, but I really liked this, so my expectations have skyrocketed, and also I know the other artists that have come from brand new music, so my expectations are already high for like where they will be when they keep training. There were a couple of times where I was like, I just want you to lean into it a little bit more, like open your arms a little fuller, lean back a little bit more. And that'll all come with time, but I was like, you're already so good, just do it now. Which is, again, really high expectations to put on rookies. But yeah, if you can't tell, I really liked it. Okay, Anna's turn.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning because it's always a very good place to start. But it just is the whistling line and the snaps that actually are happening on the 2 and 4 and the acoustic guitar, and I love it. So one thing, for the acoustic guitar, they left in the shifting sounds, like when it like sort of squeaks when your hand is moving on the between the frets. I really like that because it makes it feel more raw, even more acoustic, which helps like start the song at a lower level so that there's more room for growth as it goes on. Another little thing that I like was during the pre-chorus, there's that like little techno synth line happening in the background. I comment on it during one of the shots where it's like the square light black background and person dancing in the middle. But talking about the pre-chorus, kind of ish, the structure of the song threw me off because I remember I made the comment in the video where like, oh, it's so interesting that they're doing the snare percussion build-up in the middle of the chorus, because you know what I'm talking about when the snare goes and it like divides the beat like because that usually happens from the pre-chorus into the chorus. And then I realized that it happens both times, which is why it threw me off. So it happens pre-chorus into chorus and it happens in the middle of the chorus. But the chorus, so you said that you really like the section because it's like sort of groovy and like the way that they're dancing is really groovy. And I agree because when it enters that section, it's like this build up and then it suddenly brings the song down because it's not like super hype like you were expecting it to be. All that's playing is just a more like thumping sort of bass and then a very, very simple bass line on top of that. It like makes you lean in to focus on this sort of like laid back groove that they have. And then the next section is the more hype sort of chorus that you're thinking of. moving on in the song. The bridge is so nice. It's so nice. So this is like a separate, distinct section, very different bridge. The entire bridge is harmonized. I also like how it was mixed, like just all the harmonies in this song. This is my last comment because I'm just gonna like talk about how wonderful they are for a little bit. They have so many more harmonies than I expected since it's a group of only 3 people, because they obviously use it for like build up moments, and then also like in the verses they have harmonies as well, and they're interesting because it's not just like a simple third above, it's like an actual intricate line. So one thing that I thought was cool was, especially in the first verse, it stuck out to me the most, where it's the second phrase, I believe, of the first verse. The main melody that one of the members is singing is more like simple and it's not moving a lot, but the harmony is doing something intricate behind it. So I just, like, that kind of stuff is so cool to me because I'm like, oh, this is the thing that's like moving the song along more instead. I need to stop now.
I'm gonna cut you off, yeah. TLDR for this video is it was our first time reacting to BDC, although you were all seeing it after their comeback reaction. It's a weird thing. We're not gonna question it. And if you can't tell, we really are intrigued by what's going to come in their comeback, which we haven't seen yet, because we really liked what we've seen so far. Like, if you can't tell, we really have liked what we've seen in this reaction. So very excited for what's gonna come.
Yeah. But that being said, if you enjoyed this reaction to BDC, and also shameless plug if you haven't seen it yet, our comeback reaction that happened came out yesterday. It's complicated.
It's on the channel.
Yeah. Then please leave a like, comment, subscribe,
Ding!
turn on your notification bell, and bye!
Bye!